Right, Punchestown Day 3. That's Thursday for those that are watching. Um, it's a competitive-looking day on paper. We're going to try and see if we can pick the bones of it. So let's start in the first race. I don't have much of a fancy, but Tom, do you like anything with the first?
Yeah, it's a wide open race. There's not really a lot to offer for me here, but Holly would probably be the one. Yeah, it was a good winner at Market Raisin, 3 runs back. Was disappointed at Plumpton time after. However, bounced back with a really good run at Haydock behind Brentford Hope. Was getting a lot of weight that day, fair enough. But yeah, strong traffic in sight. This big field could suit quite an exposed in a race of this nature. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go too mad, but that'd be the one I'd be backing each way. So.
Probably worth pointing out at this stage is that AJ O'Neill has been added to the John Joe O'Neill licence for training this year, and this will be his first runner, I'd imagine. Yeah,
I'd say so. Yeah, I'm not spied it so far. So
yeah, well, that makes it more of an appeal than I probably
good way to start anyway.
Probably originally thought. So maybe I might have an interest in the race tomorrow for that reason alone. Second race is a really competitive-looking 2-mile handicap, and Blood Destiny is your 7-2 current favourite for the deadly Mullins and Tynan combination. But it's the second in the market that interests you.
Yeah, Pinkerton, I fancied it strongly for the Grand Annual this year, only for it not to run in the end. Since then, it's come out, won nicely 9 days ago. Yeah, very exposed type, always been well regarded. Yeah, it's very exposed for a race of this nature. And yeah, I mean, Blood Destiny's the favourite. He's got the form in the book. But I'd like to take on Pinkerton just to hope, he's got a lot more to give. And he arrives here in really good form. So yeah, Pinkerton for me.
I think the only thing I've got to say about the race is, other than I'd probably follow Tom because he's been talking to me about Pinkerton for a while, is that if Samoa goes and wins this race, I will be devastated because I've followed that, and you have as well, haven't you, recently?
More than me with Firefox, I think.
And the damn thing just doesn't seem to find a way of winning. So, hey ho, we'll desert him this time, and no doubt he'll go and romp home, and we'll all be in tears.
Usual scenario.
Okay, so we've got a 4-mile 1 race. Is that over the banks at Punchestown? Not really races for my liking. Do you get on with?
I'd be very surprised if Cocoa Beach got beat, to be honest. Brings a rate of 159 to a race of this nature. Ran 11th in the Grand National last time. Okay, that sort of effort might take its toll a little bit, but it's very weak division this, and this is a standout horse. Proven form over the banks. Cocoa Beach, I think, is an absolute nap of the day, to be honest. I'd be very surprised if it gets beat.
Well, look, there's a lot of horses that come back to this type of race time and time again, isn't there? Cocoa Beach is pretty new to the discipline. Is that fair to say?
Relatively, but yeah, I mean, it's been second in the Beecher with the national fences. Yeah. So obviously, this sort of race of nature does suit this horse, and I think that's very essential, to be honest. You want a proven form, and Birchdale's in the race, very solid horse, has good back class, and has also good form of course and distance. So he's probably the one to take, for an each way alternative. But
well, I think there's horses carrying £7 over on the weights in this race. It probably tells you a little bit more about the level of horse that's entered as per normal. So I'll let you have that, Tom, with Cocoa Beach. I don't have a strong fancy. Unfortunately, in the next race, the Grade 1 over 2 miles, which looks a absolute belter of a race. Gaelic Warriors is very, very short, but 1 to 3 can it Illitate Tompt actually beat that horse over 2 miles? They've raced against each other before, but it hasn't happened.
Yeah, Gaelic Warrior put a really disappointing run behind him when winning the Arkle. Was in a match race at Leopardstown against Factor File around Christmas time, where actually fell at the second last, were miles behind. The money came for Gaelic Warrior for the Arkle, and it really spoke volumes, and such a ready winner on the day. Look, Illitate Tompt is a very good horse in his own right. Port Townend probably gets the best out of that horse. I think stepping up to 2.5 at Aintree did prove the trick. Dropping back to 2 mile, I just think Gaelic Warrior be up and gone, to be honest, and they won't catch him.
Yeah. One for your combinations, maybe. Illitate Tompt is one that I put up for Aintree. I really love the horse, but he needs 2 things. He needs better ground, and he needs 2.5 miles. He's probably unlikely to get either here, or as we know, it's this race over 2 miles, and there possibly is a little bit of rain in the air, so I'm doubtful to take that one on. So I'd just follow with Gaelic Warrior as one of my multiples for the day. I'm talking of one for the multiples, is probably in the next race as well, is Tiupu, was a ready winner of the Stairs Hurdle this year. He's had a cracking season. He's 2 out of 2. Had plenty of time in between his races. I just don't see anything to beat it, do you?
Yeah, I mean, of the seasoned horses, I think Irish Point's the only horse that could actually beat Tiupu. They're very likely to face each other as they're owned by the same connections. Look, Tiupu 4 to 5. Anyone tell me why it's that price? I'd love to know. I think Home by the Lee, Buddy 1, they're nowhere near the class of this horse, and I think 4 to 5 is an absolute steal. Yeah, I can't see that getting beat, to be honest. Can you?
No, I mean, to put it into some sort of perspective,
there's a lot of deadwood in this race.
To put it into some sort of perspective, if this was a handicap, he'd have to give every single one of them minimum of £11, and he gets to run here off level weights. Like I said, he's taken his racing well this season. In between racing, like 4 to 5, I agree with Tom. Chuck it in your multiples with Gaelic Warrior. There's two.
He won't be that price today. That's
two.
For sure.
What did Sam say at Cheltenham, which was hilarious? He said something like, "Tell you what to do. Go and have 20 quid on that one. How much is a pint of Guinness?
Yeah.
Go and have another one. 20
Sort
quid.
your swells out for the day.
Sort your beers out for the day. That's as simple as that." There's a listed hurdle race after that, over 3 miles. Captain Cody is the 7 to 1 favourite. At one time, Captain Cody was thought of as a real positive potential horse for the future. I don't think he's really lived up to that as such, but there is some signs of revival.
Yeah, it's a wide open race, one later start. Look, Willie Mullins will absolutely clean up this festival. It'll probably be his biggest price whatever he does at 7 to 1.
Yeah.
Look, it's a wide open race. I haven't got a massive suggestion for it. Della Cusalunga for English trained Clive Bobby Brooks. Been in great form the last twice. I think it was quite a big purchase last season and is really starting to find its form now. So it arrives here, good order. So that could be an each way alternative at a big price. I think it's around 16 to 1 at the minute. So
yeah, I think it's a trappy looking race. I have to mention Chantry House as another one I've followed pretty much off a cliff, to be honest. But
Henderson also in a bit better form now as well, aren't they?
They do seem to be better, but I wouldn't say that's my idea of the winner. The one I'm going to take a little bit of a punt in. I quite like top weights in these handicaps, and the classier a horse, the better generally. Ashdale Bob has been campaigned the last 3 seasons running against Grade 1 animals time and time again. He's probably not. Well, we know he's not a Grade 1 animal, but what he is probably capable of is putting up a good fight in a race like this. There's a £7 claimer booked. I don't know much about the jockey personally. Do you know much about the jockey there? Connor Smithers.
Yeah, well, he rides Holly at the beginning of the day, so I hope he's an absolute blinder.
Big day for Connor Smithers.
Yeah, he's a good rider as well. McManus supports him a lot, but obviously he's riding here for Harrington. But yeah, he's had a good season, I think, so far. So rides well.
I look, Ashdale, but like I said, the classy horses, especially over 3 miles, I do think that as long as the ground's not too testing, Ashdale Bob will probably give punters a run for the money in this sort of race. The 5-past-7 race, which is the Mares novice hurdle over 2 miles. I want to just quickly start here by mentioning the interest in jockey bookings, really, because if you'd have said to me at the start of the week which one would Paul Townend ride, I'd have definitely said he'd have got on board Got Glory, but he hasn't. He's jumped on Spindleberry, which is interesting.
Yeah, Spindleberry brings Grade 1 form into this. It was a good second behind Jay DeGrugi the last day, where he only got beat close home. That's the standout form on offer. I mean, Andrew just mentioned jockey bookings here. Got Glory would have been the alternative for Townend. Has only ran the twice. Was a good winner the last day. Very unexposed. However, bringing that Grade 1 form into the race, I can personally see why Paul Townend is on Spindleberry. It looks a class act here. One sort of against it, only by night for Gavin Cromwell. Used to be originally trained by John Joe O'Neill. Beginning of the season, won three bumpers, I think, and a novice hurdle, and looked a potential superstar. Ran at the big Lingfield meeting, finished 3rd on desperate grounds, and since then was 7th in the race, where Spindleberry was 2nd, behind Jay DeGrugi in the Grade 1. Hopefully this bit of better ground, he could be quite exposed on it, and at a nice price, he could be an each way alternative behind Spindleberry. So
yeah, I think you probably sensed in what I started out by saying. I was a little bit disappointed that Townend chose the other one over Got Glory, because personally I think Got Glory is the horse to follow in this. Obviously, it looked as if soft and heavy ground was to his liking last time, which might have been why he was flattered in the way that he visually done the business on that day and won his race very, very cosily. So I'm just going to take a little bit of a chance at Got Glory with Danny Mullins, who clearly picks up the second string in this day and age, is still as good as visually it looked last time out. So fingers crossed. Do you fancy anything particularly in the last?
I think Samir is an absolute banker, to be honest. Look, for having a bad day, I'll be looking to get on this one, that's for sure. Yeah, it was a 280,000 yearling, bred for the flat, to be honest, but actually won so impressively at Goran on debut. And yeah, just on potential alone, it looks a real class act here. Angelo Dundee hasn't ran since winning at the meeting last season. So look, he could have a lot more to give as well. Gold in the Mountains run to Martin Brazel, who's a yard I have a lot of respect for, always do well in a race of this nature. But yeah, Samir, I think, is very, very good horse. So yeah, I mean, you got to touch on the Mullins horse, I suppose. He's
well,
Rosy had 2 from 2 for Rich Ritchie. So.
I was just going to say, I don't think. I'm not sure what's good. I think Samir will go off favourite for the race.
100%. I'll be very
Port Julane for Rich Ritchie, Willie Mullins, and Patrick Mullins, most importantly. They've got a few in the race, haven't they? And look, this thing it falls under the bracket of could be anything. And I think I saw that mentioned from a Rich Ritchie interview earlier on when it won its first race under rules. It could be anything, and that's why I'm going to probably take a little bit of a punt. Although, if on the day I was having a great day, I'd probably be following Samir's with the money. So anyway, another good day. Thursday, hope you have lots of luck. And if you're following this video and you're having luck, we'll be having luck. So thank you for watching. And remember to follow the Racing Life podcast on all of our channels, TikTok, Facebook and Instagram. And we'll see you again soon. Cheers.
Good luck.
Take care.